Welcome to the Frank Greatness Wrestling Podcast. I'm here for the next topic. We are recapping this week's SmackDown. This week's SmackDown past week for matches and recaps. And let's go ahead and give you my take of how everything went down. First things first, start of the night. Opened up with Drew McIntyre. Of course, completely irated over the fact that he lost his WWE Undisputed Championship to Cody Rhodes last week after costing Cody the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber. Drew literally said, I am sticking it to Cody and leaving it there, but Nick Aldis had to change the plans. And he made Drew compete and defended his title, which he ended up losing to Cody last week. And now Drew is at a full breaking point as to where he lost his cool and almost really wanted to go ahead and lay hands on all this. But now, more so than ever at this point, Jacob Fatu came out and told Drew the only person you need to blame for the mistakes of your actions are yourself. And now you can find yourself figuring out how to fix this with me. Which then Drew McIntyre, hilarious as it is, but if anybody is familiar, that's a traditional wrestling fan. If you remember back from the 2010 days, one per se after not getting his way for a certain amount of time frame, literally Drew McIntyre put the mic down, dropped the pipe bomb, and said, completely entertaining. Completely entertaining. I think Drew is definitely one of the best micers of WWE. He uh, from his in-ring ability to his mic work, he has been one of the polished athletes overall. Besides, like I think him and Roman Reigns definitely in the class in the league of their own. But Drew has definitely produced well. Like I said, the product that he is given is A1. As far as a heel run, it was well deserved. I feel like his title match or his title one. So temporary wins. This is the only thing he given him. Drew a long-term storyline. I mean, his rivalry with Punk was completely amazing. His rivalry with Rollins completely overtook a lot of things. Reigns had a productive rivalry. Hello, how's it going there? Welcome in. And make sure you go ahead and subscribe and like the channel also. But Drew McIntyre has definitely came a long way, especially after being fired for a couple years ago, and took the long journeyman to get back to WWE. So I highly gave him the most respect out of anybody that's on a roster as of now today, and say that even if so, I'm going to leave that on the sidebar, but him and Jacob Fatu would be a really great improv two matchup. Really would love to see those two maybe at a WrestleMania head. Who knows? I do remember hearing about some type of Drew having to step away for filming at a certain point. So this would be really interesting also. So, so it brings up the speculation of how are we going to get the WWE Undisputed Championship match going, because you have two buddies, but that's on a whole nother segment, which I'll get into deep dive later on if you haven't already watched it. Again, Randy is still going to be facing Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship, and will give hint to a new, I can't say new era, but nuances for superstars. Again, such as the Trick Williams, in the Open Family's Javon Evans. Um, I'm really hoping to probably also see Aleister Black maybe main card. I remember him and Ricochet had a grand run at the tag team division a couple years ago. It was pretty Um, pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. I Drew is definitely grew on me. I really do love the baby face. Always going ahead and have the hardest time working here. Um, now another I know the MFTs and the hello men. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe also too. The MFTs versus the so again, I do kind of like where their storyline has took place. It kind of had a little stagnant position, but then I guess it kind of relayed up more so. Again with Uncle Howdy and Solo, they have a who's the bigger ball center running their factions. Right now, it's looking as Solo is definitely taking the main steed of this, but I can honestly say maybe by six have had maybe a lot more SmackDown highlighted matches per se. Then the MFTs. The MFTs have definitely got the size advantage per se, but I feel like the Y6 could probably have the numbers and mind game advantage as far as just on WWE storyline telling. But even so, with that, I really would have thought that they would have the advantage. But even with having Nikki Cross on here too, that was the other thing. I'm like, you have Nikki Cross, who is a daredevil within herself, who can. I don't think nobody on the women's roster can really handle it per se, unless you get an Alexa Bliss. But that's a whole other creative realm of possibility because they were former tag team partners and everything. So again, it's just really, really interesting to see where because they can go a lot of places with their rivalry. Again, the MFTs did take the WWE they did take the SmackDown Tag Team Championships off the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Casey. So maybe they might end up getting another rematch. Again, the MFTs are set to face our Truth, and Damian Priest after winning their Gauntlet Tag Team match last week. So there's still going to be a lot to be seen. And Nikki Cross is stealing back the lantern. Okay. Sister Abigail for the 1, 2, 3 over Solo Sikoa. It'd be so funny when they be stumbling in the ring just trying to get their bearings together. Tamatonga. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here's another interesting thing I would just love to know because, and we're going back to the tag team division. We never got a clarified answer of who attacked Jay Uso, and I'm wondering because this is like one of them things to speculate because WWE can always give you like no sneak peeks into like what they're already doing. Sami Zayn has lost the United States Championship back in January to one Carmelo Hayes. He hasn't gotten none of the opportunities that he has. Do you feel like maybe he needs a heel run? I feel like maybe at this point in time, like Sammy has stayed face for way too long. He's been a predominant, like he's a funny face per se, a really entertaining heel. I don't know how anybody else might look at him, but again, Sammy, he works good either way if you have him heel or face. So I don't see why they wouldn't, but if you turn him heel, give him the title. I have a feeling if Sammy goes heel, he doesn't need the title for long. He needs to keep retaining the title by any means necessary. So I feel like Sammy could like him and Jay Uso shape should eventually turn cold. They are at that point where they can do that. I don't know how well it will transcend with the crowd since everybody has been whoever has been a Sami Zayn or Jay Uso fan. I don't know if you are. If y'all are out there on this podcast right now, please write in the comments if you would like to see a Jay Uso or Sami Zayn be heel.
I just came over to say congratulations. You did it, man. You said you were going to do it, and you did. You're walking into WrestleMania as WWE.
It's just really crazy because it's like Sammy went from blaming Jacob to now praising Cody after saying.
But I know you said the exact same thing to Randy Orton. Sammy, what are we doing? We keep crossing paths. Let's just get to the root of this. If you're looking for a title shot on the backside of WrestleMania from Randy, I'm sure you have it. For me, I haven't even wrestled Randy yet. So sorry if I'm being short with you, but if anybody deserves a title match, it's you. We could walk into Nick's office right now and get you that. You're Sami Zayn. Is that what this is about? You want a title shot? I can't believe that you would think so lowly of me, Cody. I can't. You know why I said that?
This is definitely a heel turn coming.
Okay? Randy Orton is one of 14 WWE champions. There'll never be anyone like Randy Orton, Cody. And you know why?
Okay.
We're friends. Cody. Remember? Friends are supposed to be equals, Cody. Okay? So yeah, you may be walking into the main event of WrestleMania again. And you may be champion again. But in
Okay.
my eyes, we're equals. So you don't get to talk down to me like that. I'm not talking down to you. You're talking about how you to me. I spent this whole week on media talking how you were magical. Because I do look up to you. I am inspired by you.
All right, that's a different choice.
You don't look up to me. Cool, I found that. You made your point. You don't look up to me. We don't need to. Just look right here.
That is where I really feel like, because Cody just said that, and everybody has said a lot to really take Sami Zayn off of the marker, because Sami has never won a world title. Everybody that has ran that per se, like, or rubbed it in his face per se, they're all world champions. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to think about with Sami Zayn. I really do feel that he does get short sighted, and maybe at this point now he does really do need to get a title picture. That him against Drew McIntyre, we already kind of knew where that was gonna. I'm being really serious. I'm a wrestling fan at heart, but you can kind of see things on the mirror on the wall for what it is. And you knew that Sammy wasn't gonna. You knew Sami Zayn wasn't gonna get that match. Even I wouldn't be foolish enough to say that he was. But I'm gonna get into more of our segments ahead. Again, we're still gonna cover the WWE title match signing between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So that's something we want to talk about. I was wanting to get maybe if Oh, and next also we have, of course, the segment between the women's divas. I'm not sure how in the world it's categorized now. The women's championship matchup between an anticipated Jade Cardell, the champion, versus Rhea Ripley, the challenger. One for the books that I'm not sure if you was a fan. I'm not sure where you would go with that at this point. I feel that match is whoever and put it in the pool. Either way, if you pick whoever, you're not wrong. That's where I would get. Not to say that that bitch is that bitch. They're both exciting females to watch. Very lovely to look at.
You out here running your mouth, but now you wanna run the fight with me. You're not the embodiment of female empowerment. No, 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 no. You're not even A. But after WrestleMania, you are gonna be mine.
Okay. Okay. And we got Nia Jax and Lash Legend defending their women's match. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Man, this is, let me tell you, the greatest superstar of all has arrived ever since the Royal Rumble. Danhausen. Danhausen needs to get his Hall of Fame induction ceremony this year, even though he just got here this year. Okay? Danhausen, write it, check it, it's written. And put Danhausen in the TV show. Yo.
Your own t-shirt? Yes, doesn't everyone? No, not everyone gets their own t-shirt the first week they're in WWE. I just meant to make first day. Anyways, tonight we can do Good Night Housing with Dan Housing. Now, I'll get my own celebrities.
Good Night Housing with Danhausen. I love him, yo. Danhausen TV replaces Miz TV. Oh no, no, no. Bro, Miz is cursed. It's over. My God. I just said one goat to another goat. Kit Wilson is here. Kit Wilson is in the ring with Jelly Roll. Oh my gosh. This is where legends are made. Kit Wilson, the GOAT of GOATs. Wrong button. But let me tell you something. Kit Wilson is forever my GOAT. He will forever live in history in WWE. They will paint the walls blue and pink because of Kit Wilson. Oh. Oh my God. Damn. Kit Wilson. Imagine that. Then we had. I think this is. We have another. Oh. Tiffy time. And Tiffy time had defeated Kendall Gray. Nice job to her. And the final matchup for the night, it was Jacob Fatu versus Trick Williams. Unfortunately, from when we thought that Drew McIntyre had quit, he came back and hit a complete annihilation on Jacob. So we're probably going to end up seeing that matchup happen soon. Trick Williams had hit the trick shot twice on Jacob in order to secure the win. Drew was setting up Jacob for a Claymore and ended up striking him with it. So again, there's going to be a lot of lineups that go into WrestleMania. Depending on how they had some of their camera angles, I'm not going to lie, they could have shot it a lot better. And then we had the contract signing between Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, two brothers that went down the line. And for y'all to think that it was going to end well during a contract signing, please, I want you to think again. We've seen a heel Orton come back in. Now, I don't know if anybody's a fan of Legend Killer or no, anybody's a fan of the several times Randy has been. I don't know. That betrayal could have been done a lot more. I understand it for the reasons being is Randy. He's the Viper. That's how he's been his whole career. For me, the segment wasn't like nothing spectacular. And maybe it's just we've seen this from Orton before. The timing of the thing probably could have been a lot better. The sequence of everything also could have been a lot better. Like, we haven't seen nobody bleed out from a steel steps in so long, but definitely this just took the ante up for WrestleMania completely. So who's to say? Again, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. It just got personal. So now we're going to see two former best friends going at it, call themselves brothers. Before the segment started taking place and Randy had hit the betrayal on Cody. So again, maybe the three dangerous letters of all time are going to come out. They have, and Randy's looking for that number 15. So he is loaded. But make sure you guys hit subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, share, and tune in also for the next time we go live weekly on all of our WWE wrestling promotional coverage, and we'll have more recaps coming along to you as well. Make sure you follow me on all my other social media platforms via TikTok, where we also still do the Frank Greatness Wrestling also as well. And make sure you also hit the like and subscribe. Be tuned to all of my other social media platforms. And make sure you join the Patreon community. And we'll see you guys in another time frame. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your evening and week, guys. That's a wrap.